Good morning, everybody. Welcome to week 4, module 4. This week we're going to be looking at designing organizational structure. So the 4 functions of management are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So we're still looking at planning with organizational structure and figuring out how to make change in an organization. So the first chapter, you're going to be looking at decisions that organizations have to make about dividing up the jobs and then also making sure that there's coordination across those different broken up jobs. So we can divide up jobs according to the function or the product or the customer or the geographic area. And in large organizations, it's probably many of the above. The second chapter for this week is managing change and innovation. And this is looking at change from the perspective of something you can plan for. A lot of change is thrust upon organizations and leaders. But this chapter, one part of it specifically looks at how to plan for change and how to implement it most successfully, because many change efforts in organizations fail. And then I'm also looking at how to create an environment where an organization can be innovative and creative, which is not always the easiest thing to do. So by the end of the module, you will be able to evaluate an organization's new structure in the written assignment and to do a force field analysis to analyze forces moving in favor of a change and those resisting a change that you're trying to create. So we're looking at chapter 7 and 8, MindTap quizzes and assignments. Your discussion board is focusing on change and creating force field analysis. So the first step is to identify a change you would like to see implemented at home, at work, and state it specifically as your goal. And then identify the driving forces. So what are the forces in favor of the change? So who is in favor? Why are they in favor? Oftentimes just external forces, changes in the environment, technology, people are the driving forces. Restraining forces are also oftentimes people who don't want to change, but can sometimes come from external forces that you don't have any control over as an individual or as an organization. And sometimes it's just status quo. Excuse me, people don't like to change. So the second question is, how will you shift the equilibrium point? So what driving forces can you increase? What restraining forces can you try to reduce? And so the most kind of effective or efficient approach is usually to try to overcome the obstacles and get those individuals or situations to change to stop resisting the change. Number 3, who will resist? So that's the restraining forces. And how will you deal with it? So share those. They don't have to be real detailed or real personal. Share those with each other so you can get some ideas of what other people are trying to change and what they're dealing with. So the second assignment, the written assignment here, as you're looking at a video in MindTap about the restructuring of what was Google, now is Alphabet. They've recently been in the news for changing the leadership. The initial owners, founders are stepping back, but that's a different video. So this is in chapter 7 in MindTap, why Google's restructuring plan makes sense. So the questions that go along with it: why did they change their structure? What are the pros and cons of the new structure? And what impact, if any, would it have on an individual? Okay, so then you've got, so I've linked the video here in the Blackboard module, along with the quizzes, the readings, and the assignments. So let me know if you have any questions. We're about halfway through. Hopefully you're staying up with everything. Let me know if you have any problems, and have a good week.